a person who could deal with feelings, a person who was non-defensive, a person who had a strong set of values, a person whose values were inner-directed rather than outer-directed, a person who was not either defiant or submissive, but independent. Basically, human qualities, the capacity to be compassionate, the capacity to deal with abstract reasoning, the capacity to be creative, to express one's uniqueness as a person. Without a sense of your own values, you're like a ship without a rudder. There's no direction, there's no sense of direction. And one of the things that people block out early in their lives are their personal goals. The biggest defense is to not want. If you're being hurt or damaged, it's the easiest thing is to not want anything, or to be self-denying instead of pursuing one's goals cleanly. So I would like a person to be able to go after the things they want in life, to compete when necessary for what they believe in, and to struggle to achieve their goals. I'd like them to be free of what would normally be considered pathology or symptoms of, quotes, mental illness. I would like them to be not suspicious or distrustful of other people, but open to people. And to be alive to life. And so many people are dead and so defended that they lose their vitality. They lose their ability to love. They lose their ability to feel close to another person. So I would say to be able to tolerate intimacy and to be able to enjoy a sexual, have a strong sense of their own sexual identity and a strong sense of pleasure in their sexuality. I consider that to be important. But all of these goals depend on how much a person is willing to struggle, because within the defensive apparatus, many of these things are limited or blunted or destroyed, and the uniqueness of the person can be, actually, destroyed entirely. So I would like them to go as far as they can go, but how far are they willing to go? How much are they going to rely on character defenses? That's how much courage do they have to challenge these defenses and develop themselves. Anyway, there's so much to what I would consider our human heritage. I would say they'd be free to live as a human being, basically, and have pleasure and satisfaction in life. And in just being themselves, they would be unique and creative. It would be just come out of their individuality and their autonomy.
How important do you feel like it is for a person to be in touch with their body or feel connected to being their physical being?
Well, they are mind and body. It's very important to be close to both. The importance of emotionality and physicality and the ability to feel and to be rational. That combination. When I was talking about the ideal goals for therapy, I would say I would want the person to be adult, not parental, not childish, just a person in their own right with full responsibility for their lives, a sense of being powerful rather than powerless. And I guess that's about it. Mm-hmm. So that was an important part of it.
That's an important part of how people often are, either in that childish mode or that
That's right.
parental mode, and not really in touch with themselves as a person.
As a full adult person, yeah. Not judging and not, not being weak and not being over emotional or overly rational in a sense, but a combination, a blend, a balance between emotionality and rationality. A healthy person has access to their feelings and tends not to distort things based on internalizing or projecting those feelings.
Yeah, it seems like an important part is having access to your feelings, but also making choices about how you decide to act on them. You know, I think some people equate having access to your feelings to just
That's right. If
emoting.
you can't tolerate anger, you're more likely to act it out destructively or hurt yourself in the process. And it's very important to be able to feel your sadness rather than getting into a depressed state and, and confusing it with anger and so on. So to have access to your emotions is very important, yet you want people to be rational in their lives, to act in their own interest, and to act with regard to other people, respectfully with regard to other people. That's part of it too.